What's up guys, it's Sebastian, and today we're flying Delta One Suites from LAX to Paris. Big favor before we dive in is to give us a thumbs up, and if you are new, consider subscribing. Let's do a quick suite tour before we take off and before it gets too noisy. So we are still on the ground and everyone's still mostly boarding. You have a ton of legroom down here, so even if you do have pretty long legs, you're going to be pretty comfortable. Pillow/comforter over here. I probably don't use it correctly, but it's a super nice comfy pillow. Gigantic screen over here. We're in seat 7J, LAX to CDG. Down here there are lights and also storage towards the right. You want to put your camera, bag, snacks, plenty of room. You can also adjust your seat to bed mode, flight mode, and a bunch of other settings in between. Pretty gigantic table on the side, and I'm a fan. I feel like for a lot of other seats, there's not much table space. This is the seat, and since we are flying business, there is going to be the side strap as well. Let's open up the table. Bit of a weird shape, but it works. Pretty standard air and lights up here. You do end up getting two for yourself, so it kind of lets you know how big the seat is relative to normal seats. There also are Star Trek doors, which you cannot close until we're up in the air, because I think they are locked towards the bottom area. These will close later on if you want privacy, to sleep, or to relax. Over here is a bunch of other options to adjust your seat. I generally like doing either lounger or relax. Not a fan of bed for whatever reason. Headphones are over here. Also headphone holder and water bottle back here. Also slippers. Maybe it's a me thing, but the slippers never really fit my feet. I think I just have like wider feet than normal people. Or like they barely fit, but I feel like it's about to blow out at the seams. What most people do is put their shoes in the corner. On one hand, I know some people don't like the idea of taking off shoes, but since you are turning this into bed later on, you don't really want to drag the dirt and other stuff from your shoes into your bedding. Okay, we're about to take off, so we'll get back to this as well as the food later on. So in addition to the normal waist one, you also have a shoulder one. Okay, we're about to start dinner service, and I figured I'd show you the rest of the amenities before food. This is the blanket/pillow. So pillow over here, and then blanket. Pretty straightforward. One of Delta's strong suits is going to be their archive of movies. So I feel like a lot of other airlines might have a lot of new stuff, but that's pretty much it, and they might not even update it until maybe once a quarter or once every half year. Here you have a bunch of new stuff, but also a lot of old stuff. So here is me scrolling through a bunch of different categories, and it just keeps going. It's just like movies on movies on movies, which is a really good thing. So whether you want something new or old or classic that you've watched before that you want to just fall asleep to, you have a ton of choices. Headphones are also pretty solid. So I'm about 20 minutes into the Hunger Games ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and it's doing a good job. I also like that it fits my big ears compared to some other headphones. I know this question comes up a lot in the comments, but you cannot keep the headphones. You do have to return them after the flight. They also do have a different outlet, meaning that you can't really use them for normal life. Again, do not steal the headphones. We are towards the back, and the cabin lighting is pretty nice. One thing I like about sitting in the back is that you do have pretty cool shots and just pretty cool view. I feel like when you're in the front, it feels a lot more claustrophobic. Or maybe that's a skill issue on my end, but yeah, I really don't like the front. This is our current view. Looks pretty nice. Sun is setting, and it's about 2 a.m. Paris time. So I'm probably gonna eat and then go to sleep. This cubby is super convenient. Didn't realize how much I liked it until this flight. You can pretty much stick the whole camera in, which is really nice. Kind of showed off the lights earlier, but let's do a bit of a deeper dive. So here, if you want to do some reading, and then you also have the overhead light. Hook over here for the headphones, and we are on the A330. Okay, so they are delaying service due to turbulence. Benefit though is that we have more free time to go through the menu. This is the menu. Welcome to Delta One, and then they have French at the bottom. As you settle in, we're glad you're here and hope you enjoy our thoughtfully curated experience designed to elevate the way you travel. It's time to relax and unwind with extra comforts, entertainment, and chef-curated meals. And when it's time to indulge, look no further than this menu. We look forward to taking care of you on board today. So the menu is chef curated for 30,000 feet up in the air, and they are partnering with world-leading chefs to make this menu. Okay, back to the menu. Settling in, you get warm nuts. Starter, you have shrimp, onion soup, mixed greens, and also, I wonder if you get all of these actually. I think you get all of them. I think it's like all as one set. And then main course, you pick one of them. I ended up going with the meatballs. I think Mandy is going with chicken parm. Actually, wait, since your upgrade cleared way before mine, she ended up doing a special order of the salmon. In terms of desserts, you have lemon bar, ice cream sundae, which is really good, and fruit and cheese plate. Midway through, they do have some light bites if you want some, and pre-arrival there is either scrambled eggs or mushroom French bread pizza. If I recall, the pizza does not look great, but it tasted fine. I'm probably gonna go with the eggs though. I might also try to get both desserts. The lemon bar and the ice cream sundae sound really good. If I could only get one, probably ice cream sundae. In terms of drinks, they have red wine, white wine, rosé. Champagne sounds pretty good, even though I'm not a champagne person. Super complex, cinnamon sprinkled Fiji apples on the palate, brioche and toasted almond on the nose, and very long finish. Also, generally not a dessert wine person, but I feel like when I'm on a flight and it's free, it's easier to try new stuff. So I might go for this one as well. Your choice of Coca-Colas, Sprites, ginger ale, juice, apple juice, tomato juice, bunch of juices, coffee, decaf, espresso, teas, water, beer, and then a bunch of spirits. One of the benefits of doing a flight I've done multiple times is it feels less stressful, as weird as that sounds. I think a lot of the times when you're doing a flight for the first time and you know it's like a very critical one, you're like on the clock and making sure you film everything. Like over here, oh look, there's a hanger. Basically that you don't want to forget anything at all because otherwise it's hard to do it again. Delta, I feel like I've done so many times that I got the hang of it. I do like the other one that is a little bit more square and purple vibes, but this is nice as well. Okay, so I plugged the headphones into the power outlet for a bit. Not while using them, but yeah. And good to know that it turns red. Little yikes. Also, in case you're wondering where Mandy is, she's pretty much same exact spot I am, but on the opposite side of the plane. So by the window, back, but AC instead of J. Normally we try to do front to back, but didn't really have a choice here. If you do have a choice though, front to back is amazing because it makes taking pictures super easy. So basically she would be over there and even a little bit further back, and you would have a very good view of the suite. So you could pose like this. And it's not as awkward as someone else in front of you because, yeah, it's a bit harder. And they are bringing stuff out, so I'm going to look a little bit less cringe and put this up for a second. These smell really good. It smells like a spa. It also is very hot. Maybe I'm lucky, but I feel like service with Delta is always really good for me. The benefit of the table is that you have plenty of room to film yourself and kind of put a camera in the right spot. That kind of works, maybe a bit too low. Yeah, that works pretty well. I smell the yeasty bread. Ma'am, what are you doing here?
I got a call button saying that you missed me. No. It's okay, I got the salmon and you didn't. So my upgrade cleared early somehow and I was able to pre-order my meal service, and salmon is on the flight menu, so it's kind of like a special pre-order only. So I'll let you know how it is.
I think I'm gonna get the champagne. The champagne sounds pretty good.
How much is it?
Free.
No, like what's the retail price of the bottle?
Oh, I don't know. Is that sparkling wine or is that champagne?
Yeah, it says champagne. Cinnamon sprinkled Fuji apple. You love Fuji apples. Of course you would want Fuji apple champagne.
I don't know, it sounds good to me. Like I'm normally not a champagne person, but it sounds really good. Don't tell anyone, but my favorite apple is probably Fuji apples. They are starting service up front and we are towards the back. Probably like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but should be good. Okay, starting with some champagne and nuts. Nuts could be a little bit more heated, but they're really good. I like that they're not too salty. I think a lot of nuts are like overly crazy salty. It's really subtle here and you can actually taste the nuts. Let's try the champagne. Champagne's really good. Thank you. Champagne's good, nuts are pretty solid, and service is awesome as usual. 2 thumbs up for now, but let's wait for the mate. Okay, for the starter, we have a few different things. First up is going to be chilled shrimp with creamy tarragon and lemon. This one doesn't look that good, but it smells really nice, and it's charred onion soup. Up here, we have some mixed greens and balsamic. And down here, we have some pretty awesome looking bread with some banner butter. Let's give it a taste. Shrimp is pretty fresh and bouncy. Sauce is super creamy and tastes delicious. Bit of lemon zest. They're awesome. Even for someone that doesn't really like seafood, it's not too overwhelming by any means. It's really fresh. Next up, charred onion soup. This one's okay. I expected a bit of cheese on top because I feel like whenever I have French onion soup, that's a very common thing. Bit one-dimensionally. If it was an item that I could pick, I probably wouldn't pick it, but since it's part of it, I'll eat it. Yeah, that one's okay. Pretty normal by itself. Not sure what to add there. The balsamic's really good. It's not too strong at all and definitely brings out a lot more flavors. I feel like the balsamic we have at home is super strong, or it could be the fact that we're up in the air. Bread's pretty unique and you do have the rosemary taste. I like it. I wish it was a little bit hotter though. Unsurprisingly, adding butter makes it taste a lot better. I do still wish it was a little bit warmer. It's fine as it is, but you know it can be better is the vibe you get. It's capable of greatness. I'm gonna finish this off and move to the main. Other than the French onion soup, everything is pretty solid. Okay, Clean Plate Club and the main is now here. Looks really good. I think most people cut meatballs in half, but I'm going to do the savage thing and just eat it outright. It's a really good meatball. It's also very hot, so do not do what I did because that was kind of stupid. Yeah, very tasty. Would get again. The ricotta is surprisingly good. I don't know why. I expected it to be a bit more overwhelming. But it tastes nice. It works well together. I think if it was separate, it would have more of a crunch, but I guess it is a bit hard to do it when you're serving a lot of meals every day. Definitely a solid 8 out of 10 and would recommend getting it. They convinced me on the lemon tart and said it was perfect after I ordered a sundae, so now I have both. Also have a coffee on the way. I like it, it's not too sweet, and it's a nice palate cleanse from the meal. It doesn't look it, but super tasty. Let's try the ice cream. You can't really go wrong with ice cream. If I had to choose one, it would have to be the ice cream, but if you want to, then maybe get both. It is a dessert cart and you can make your own sundae, so I got everything on it. If you don't want the chocolate or if you don't want everything else that I have, then you don't have to get that stuff. Even the ice cream by itself is pretty tasty. If you are doing both though, I would eat the lemon tart first, otherwise second bite of it after ice cream can be a bit more sour given the nature of how your taste buds work. But yeah, still pretty good and gonna finish off both. Just got up from a nap and that was much needed, and what's even more needed is a cup of coffee. I love coffee and I don't think the cup has looked this good in a while. I needed that in so many ways. Also did open up the blinds a bit just to kind of, reset my system since it is about noon in Paris. So an hour and 20 minutes until we arrive and 11:58 a.m. so noon Paris time. In a lot of ways, this feels like the longest day of travel because we left San Francisco at 1 p.m. to go to LAX. There was a 5 p.m. flight to Paris and now it's noon. And may I get more coffee as well? Yeah, thank you. I asked for more coffee. We have croissant, eggs, sausage, and also fruit. Can't really go wrong with the Big Short. Eggs are okay, nothing to write home about. They do taste a lot better with the jam, but I'm not sure if that's the jam carrying most, if not all of the weight. But the jam's really good. Sausage is okay, a bit better than the eggs. Eggs are kind of like a 6. Sausage is like a 7, passable. But yeah, it's okay. Potatoes are really good. I like croissants, but I feel like I've had better ones. The fruits, potatoes, and jam are the highlights. Yeah, otherwise passable. Gonna work on this and see you in a minute. Forgot to go through this earlier, but this is the amenities kit. Someone, somewhere. I feel like we have a bunch of these at home, but they are pretty useful. Toothbrush that I'm about to use before landing. Sleeping mask. Earplugs. I think this is lip balm and lotion. Hand cream. And this one's lip balm. Little dinky one. and pen. So funny enough, we actually use this tiny little bag and the main one for our 360 camera. This one to cover the lens and that to cover the rest of the camera. So yes, there is a use for it, for us at least.
Thank you for your business. Have a pleasant stay in the Paris area or wherever your final destination may bring you. Thank you and goodbye.
I actually completely forgot about this existing. So mirror here, which can be super convenient and also remote.
On that note, if you want to learn more about cards and points to take flights like this, and you want to support the channel, we do have links on the website, asksebby.com, and also down below in the description box. As always, make sure the links are competitive, that the cards make sense for you, but otherwise it is a huge way to support the channel, so thank you guys in advance. If you made it to this point, leave a croissant emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. 2 questions. Number 1, do you like visiting Paris? And number 2, what do you typically fly when you go from the US to Europe? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor, hit the like button, consider subscribing, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.
How was your flight?
It's all right.
I kind of wish they didn't turn off the TVs while we were still like taxiing for the last half hour. Otherwise, good.